Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I don't know how she can remain relaxed and she just chill. Everything's all good. In just a few hours, she is responsible for a couple renewing their vows, big life event. She planned it all. I'd be a bold nurse right now, but this is what she does as she takes care of people who want to start their new lives, be it a wedding in paradise. We're talking about Hawaii. Her company is simplekonabeachweddings.com. And she's done this a lot, like hundreds, if not maybe more. I don't know. I've lost count. She's back with us. Becky Ringler is our professional of the year. How you doing today?
I am great. Thanks, Steve. It's a busy day today, as we were talking about. Yeah, actually, right after this podcast, I have to throw in some sunscreen and a change of clothes. And I'm meeting a couple that I'm marrying on Wednesday at the beach to pick their spot. And then a few hours later, we've got a vow renewal. And we're actually doing this one mid-afternoon, which I normally, as we've talked about before, like I don't usually do. There is special time constraints that these couples this couple has, and that also my mother-in-law happens to be coming in today. So it worked out for they're going to a luau, and the timing it was complicated. The son booked that without consulting his mother. Okay. So anyway, it's going to be really fun. Happy to chat a little bit more about that, but it's a busy day today.
Just as a reminder for everybody, the reason that you don't encourage weddings in the middle of the afternoon, one of them is the lighting, right? And also the heat.
Yes. Yeah, we talked about that. And I said, well, now this particular couple is not getting professional photographs. We do include in our vow renewal options, and in fact, most of our options, photos taken for you on your cell phone, which is what they'll be getting. Some folks for their vow renewal really do like a second wedding, like it's really formal. And in this particular case, ironically, this couple really never had an official wedding. They got married at a courthouse many years ago. But they wanted to do something special while they were here in Hawaii to celebrate. I can't remember which anniversary this is. I can tell you in a second. But anyway, so they're having like more of a ceremony here, which is exciting. But anyway, we did talk about the lighting because it's pretty harsh. It can be a little crowded on the beach. This particular beach is not terribly crowded, which is why I love it. And it is a Monday afternoon. But nonetheless, we also talked about the fact that we might be wearing sunglasses. Like I never wear sunglasses during my weddings. I hate doing that, but I don't want to go blind either. And she was like, that's fine. I just want to have a meaningful moment, but I love to not wear sunglasses so I can look in their eyes and connect with everybody. But occasionally timing, like today, it just happened that we're having it at 2:30, which again, is not my recommended timing, but we're going to make it work and everybody seems happy. So yeah.
Do you ever, even since you've been doing this for a while, quite some time,
10 years. Yeah.
10 years, lots of couples, lots of lives begun together. Do you ever occasionally still get a little queasy, nervous, jittery?
No, not usually. I mean, if I'm doing something really specialized, like occasionally they want me to change it up a little bit, like they ask me to include something which is not normally included, and I'm always happy if there's a special request to put something special in. I wouldn't say that it makes me nervous, but I feel a little more stressed out about it because I want it to be really good. I never read from a piece of paper, with the exception if they're having me read or do something very special, which I don't want to mess it up. So I'll bring a paper for that section. But otherwise, I try to do everything again, I've done over 700 weddings. Everything is, I don't need a piece of paper to do my ceremony, even usually when there's specialized things. But occasionally, yeah, I will. And I'll say it. I don't get nervous. I get a little more stressed because I want it to go just right for them. So
and that's what makes you different. You really do care. And, people are traveling a long distance typically to be there to start this new journey together. The couple this afternoon that is renewing their vows, do they bring people with them? Is it just their thing?
It's her son. Let me see. I can tell you. Where is it? Here it is. They have their son. It's her son and her husband will be there. And it's their 35th wedding anniversary today. So it's a really special day. I think they have another child who couldn't, I could be wrong. So if she's ever listens to this, but I think she is the one whose daughter or son, the other child just had a baby, so they can't make it for this trip. So yeah.
Have you Zoomed? Have you done that? Zoom streamed for people that can't be there for a wedding?
Yeah, we will do that. If people really want that, we will do a live stream. I always say, like, hey, just don't make this public. Like, if you're live streaming, my requirement is that it's not open to the general public. I feel like the ceremony should be special to you. Most people don't want it broadcast live to like everyone in the world,
like Facebook Live or whatever.
Yeah, if it's Facebook Live, it has to be just to yours, like a set group. And then it's not that you can't share it. I just don't want it out there to the world. I feel like I would never want it, even though every ceremony is different, I feel like I want it to feel really special to each person and to feel like this was mine, and not, yeah.
Well, I didn't even view it as, for everybody, more of in that situation where the family member couldn't make it or whatever, and just so they can be a part of it. But yeah, even experts now say, don't take pictures so much anymore. Use your memory. It's going to serve you well. We forget how to do that. Use our memory. We don't have to take pictures of everything. You can remember stuff. It's pretty amazing what we got going on there. What do you want others to know about planning a wedding in Hawaii?
I think, interesting that you say this about the photos. We've talked about it before, but the reason we offer photos taken for you on your cell phone, in addition to a pro photographer, we recommend that you hire one too, is so that your family and friends can be present with you. Because there is nothing worse than everybody just trying to take all the pictures and it totally takes away from the moment. And I feel like the trend is that people are moving away from needing to have everything documented.
Yeah.
And it really, the most special thing about being at a wedding in Hawaii is it's so beautiful. There's so much going on. It's just, this is a place where you can unplug also. That's what makes it really nice. Yeah, I don't know. It just brings you here and you get to experience the feeling of the wind and the sound of the waves. And then you see, even if you can't hear, like, obviously I try and project as much as I can, but occasionally the wind is going backwards away from my face and there's nothing to do about that. I always say, like, hey, as long as the couple can hear me, that's the most important thing.
Yep.
I try to project so everyone can hear, but occasionally nature is not on my side. But the nice thing is that everyone can kind of get the feeling of it, even if they can't hear every single word. And that's what really matters. And when we do a live stream, for instance, also for like a grandparents or parents that are elderly or injured or somebody who can't make it, even if they can't hear, if it's not if we're not professionally mic'd up, they still get the feeling of being there, which is really makes it really special. So I would say that be prepared to just be present, to go with it, to have fun. It's not supposed to be some like giant show for everybody. This is about you two connecting in love, which is why people get married in Hawaii, I feel like.
What are some of the things you can support with? Like, for example, you mentioned a professional photographer. Let's say somebody is looking to get married on the beach area by you. They're traveling. They don't know the area. This is all new to them. What are some of the things? Okay, professional photographer, you can recommend somebody for that. What are some of the other things that you can help somebody with?
Yeah, I mean, we help people take care of everything. If you do a custom wedding with us, we'll get you quotes. We'll go over the options. Depending on your style, I can get quotes and help connect them to the right person. Of course, we have referrals for hair and makeup. Now, I do have, if you're not doing a custom wedding, I do have like a resources list where people can look up for my recommended referrals and people that I trust for, again, hair and makeup. I will handle if someone wants any like professional music, if they want all the florals I take care of. So that's something that I always do. I have an in-house, well, I shouldn't say in-house, but I have one florist I work with typically. There are many great florists on the island. I just happen to, I have one guy who handles my loose florals and some of my simple lays, a local farmer. And then I have my main florist, Maria, who is spectacular. And she does all of my intricate lays and bouquets and things like that. My goal, though, is that my couples don't have to struggle finding stuff. That's my job. Even with our simplest things, like my job is to help you just make everything easy. You can come, we'll help you take care of everything. And we'll also, help with dinner reservations. If you're doing a custom wedding, I can help you with private dinners and set everything like that up too. So my goal is it's just easy. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
It makes it simple for you. That's simple Kona Beach weddings, so that it's really easy.
I would imagine that's why somebody's, aside from the beauty and the paradise and all of that, it's a chill vibe in Hawaii. I don't want to be stressed. Like, Becky, take care of it, please. Like this is what we're looking to do. What about, you've mentioned before, and I'm intrigued about this, not doing it on the beach, but renting a home in Hawaii. And you said that, a number of people do that from time to time. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So if you've got a house where it's just you in the house, typically there's no event fee. We do have some houses where if you're doing an event, they charge an event fee, even at a private home.
Wow.
But if it's usually just the people staying there and there's no setup, we're not bringing in trucks and stuff like that. I mean, usually my weddings don't have that kind of stuff. That's fine. But if you have a bunch of people driving in, sometimes that's something to think about. I will actually talk with my couples about that if they're looking for a place to do it. But often, I would say it's not uncommon to have something in just the backyard of the home. A lot of times they have a beautiful view or they're right on the ocean. Certainly, if there is shoreline public access, then you don't need permission because shoreline public access is just that. You don't need permission to do that. There may be permits required or not, depending on the location. And I would know that and be able to help them with that. But it's pretty cool. I've been to some of the nicest houses. I'm like, oh, I've been there. Oh, I know that property. And it's really fun because you get to see all the cool houses too. It does provide a little less stress sometimes for folks because they don't have to drive anywhere. Driving here is not stressful, FYI. We're not Oahu. Or even Maui. The roads here are not very crowded. There's like one spot through town that can be crowded and take a little long, but that is not, in terms of driving, this is like the easiest place to drive that I've ever lived. Anyway, maybe other than rural Japan.
What about Airbnb? Let's say you wanted to rent a house and then do your wedding there. Is it kind of the best way to go?
Yeah, I would say something like that. There's VRBO, there's they're home away. I think there's a lot of different types of things, but yes, I recommend that. And there are a lot of really beautiful properties, again, either with a great view or right on the ocean. Condos are a little more tricky. I have done a few backyard condo rental weddings. Well, not really weddings, usually vow renewals, because it's a little less formal often. And in addition to rental houses, I have done a few on dive boats before. I had this one couple who was a huge scuba dive. They were like major scuba dive. Did I tell you about this? I don't know if I did.
You briefly mentioned that it was on a boat, but no other details.
Yeah, so they were they were huge scuba dive enthusiasts. And so they said, would you come with us on the boat? We want to go scuba diving after our wedding. I said, this sounds like a lot of fun. So I arranged to, talked with the boat people, and they parked the boat in a really beautiful setting. We did the wedding on the boat. And then afterwards, they drove there was a sighting of a whale shark. Now, whale sharks, by the way, are not really, they're very gentle. They're not sharks as we think of them. They're just called whale sharks, but they're huge, beautiful, amazing. If you don't know what it is, look it up. And this couple had never seen one before. And this was like the perfect thing. So they drove the boat way out to this buoy, and we all got in the water. I don't scuba, but I snorkel. So obviously I dive all the time, free dive and snorkel. And so we all just jumped in around this buoy and got to see the whale shark. And it was so spectacular.
Wow.
And then we drove around and we did some more diving other places. So that was really fun. It's always fun for me if I get to do stuff like that. That is more of an all-day event. But it's, I love to cater to people's special things. But if it is an impractical thing, like let's, hike 20 miles and we have 20 people, I will say no. We're not going to do that. So there's certain things I won't do, but boats for sure, rental houses for sure. And sometimes there's helicopter weddings. I haven't done too many of those, but those are a really cool thing. There's a lot of arranging, and that is weather dependent. So I love that idea, but I feel like there's a lot of X factors to a helicopter because they may or may not be able to fly on that particular day, depending on the weather. So that's the only factor for something like a helicopter.
How did you get into this? I know that you're from originally upstate New York. Mm-hmm. You've done a lot before you got to this point 10 years ago.
Oh, yes. Yes. Many, many things. Yeah, I went to school in Chicago at Northwestern, and I was a theater major. And but before I was an actress in New York, because I was for several years, I actually moved to Japan, and I taught English in the public middle schools right after graduation, which was pretty cool. And it's a big stretchy experience. I did speak Japanese. I got a lot better when I was there. And that was really fun. And then I moved to New York. My sister was moving out of her really great place in the city, this room with one of the Marx brothers' daughters, Maxine Marx. She was Chico Marx's daughter. She was 80 at the time. And then there was another young woman who lived there. It was like this rent-controlled building on the Upper West Side with like a doorman, and it was awesome. So I had to snatch it. And then I was an actress in New York for several years. So that was really fun. And I feel like there's a lot of things that I do now that were informed. Like I had a lot of practice from what I did before. So that was a really great thing. I did a lot of, I'm not a singer. I can sing, but that was not my thing. I did a lot of Shakespeare, comedies, various things. It was a really good time. It was ironic. I woke up one day and I felt really unfulfilled. And I remember my acting teacher from college used to say, if you ever feel like doing anything else for the love of God, do it. And, I was starting to get recognized on the street. I didn't have to, I was being called in for auditions rather than having to go to cattle calls. I feel like things were really picking up. And then I was like, I need to leave. So I ended up moving to San Francisco for grad school, and I got a degree in counseling psychology with a concentration in expressive arts therapy, where you use art to help facilitate the healing process, which again is all related. There's a little bit of drama therapy and artwork and all sorts of stuff. So I did a lot of that for a long time, and then I started facilitating singles play shops where people could meet and they would sort of play. I organized a bunch of games so they could meet each other in that capacity. This is
right, let me make sure I get that right.
Yeah.
Singles, what was this?
Singles play shops. Instead of workshops, they were play shops. And I try to get, and these were, in this particular case, this was for straight men and women. And I would organize a thing where it would be kind of an equal number. And then I facilitated a bunch of games. A lot of them were actually they're bonding games, right? Like you close your eyes and first you're randomly assigned to a partner, and you close your eyes and you feel their hand, and you have to feel what their hand feels like. And then, or maybe everyone's blindfolded. And then I had everyone mingle around And then when I think it was sort of like musical chairs, like the music stopped, and then you had to find your partner by just shaking people's hands. And like there's a lot of really cool
Wow.
exercises that I led people through that really created some matches. I think it was really neat. So that
I'm
was
looking at your life thus far and how everything you did, in my view, supports what you do now. So
yeah.
the theatrical part, there's a production that's
Oh,
going
and I
on there.
produced tons of shows in college also. So I was a producer. So
So you're producing
yeah.
weddings now, in a sense.
Yep.
Then you also studied, let's call it the mind, the therapeutic side of it, that aspect. And when people are getting married and together, there's that element. And then, of course, you worked with singles and making it fun. Again, putting couples together. You are for the rest of their lives. Like,
Yeah.
it's all of this. I don't even think I'm reading into it. And like that's just face
No.
value of your
Yeah.
past and how it translates to what you do now. It's fascinating. Wow.
Yeah, I feel really lucky because I feel like everything. So, okay, when I was in college, I had this roommate, Betty who, she is still a good friend of mine.
Was she
Her,
related to Horton?
no.
Okay.
um, and so I went to visit her one summer when I was, in college. I was living in California doing a theater program in the summer, and I went to visit her, and her mom did my Chinese chart. And her mom told me that I was going to be doing a lot of things, but finally in my middle life, I was going to be really, really successful. But everything I did up to then would lead toward this place. And I feel like that is true. I was like, okay, this will be really interesting. And it was a really great perspective at, what was it, 20 years old to kind of feel like, okay, no matter what I do, it's going to be good. And it was a really nice feeling to kind of see that. And now that I look at it, it's all true. So it's been really interesting. I've done many other things. I had a personal development business for a while. I spent a lot of time on the phone talking to people that I didn't know. And I feel like all of that makes me really comfortable with my couples. I love meeting new couples. Like there's something so fun about that. Some people get really anxious. And for me, like the first call is super fun. I can't wait to talk to people. It's partially my personality too, I think. But I really feel like there's something so interesting about hearing somebody's story and how they
Yeah.
came together. And
And the
yeah,
dynamics between two people, I'm sure you pick up on that vibe too. Like what brought them together? What makes them different? What makes them excited about what they're going to do? It's amazing our journeys where they take us, isn't it?
yeah. Sometimes I can't quite believe it. And I have to say, Zoom has changed everything. I started using Zoom in 2020. Prior to that, I was just doing phone calls with people, and
Mhm.
you can really hear really well. I mean, I was really good at listening for nuances, but Zoom takes it to a whole nother level because you can actually see physically how people interact with each other. Um, and if there's a long silence, you can see that they're thinking not like who knows what, so it's really nice. I'm really happy that Zoom has sort of come into this because unlike a lot of people, because I am thousands of miles away, it's really nice to be able to meet with them, even virtually, because I feel like that's a little extra comforting factor that they can see me and I can see
Sure.
them and it feels good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you feel like you know this person. Even when I start with a new doctor, what do? I Google, I look at pictures. I want to feel like I know them before I go.
Yeah.
Just a feeling of familiarity, really what it comes down to. And plus, people are putting their trust in you. There's a lot going on there. There's, halfway around the world potentially
Yeah.
in Hawaii. What's the best way to find you, Becky?
I would say my website is the best way to find me, which is simplekonabeachweddings.com. And also you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Both of those are just Simple Kona Beach Weddings. that's how you'd find me. And make sure there's an S on the end of wedding. So it's weddings. And yeah, I mean, obviously I do have a phone number on my site, but I actually prefer that you go and you get some information first. And then we usually set up a Zoom call. I send a link to my calendar. There's a little survey I'll have you fill out. That way we can have a really good, fruitful conversation. So yeah.
I find that talking to you, anything is possible, whatever anybody's dream is, within reason, that you can get it done. And I truly respect your standards, where like, no, I don't want to do the wedding during the day with the sun. I'm telling you, it's not going to be good. If somebody pushes it like this couple today because of their situation, so be it, and I'm sure it's going to be fine, but. Oh,
it will be. I mean, mainly if something happens and we have to do it at a certain time, I set expectations so that they're aware, sure. Like, hey, sure. And everyone's like, okay, then yeah, it'll be good. I'm really excited about it.
And today their goal isn't about the pictures. Yes, it's great to have a couple of shots, whatever, on your cell phone, but it's not like, you're paying thousands for a photographer to come in and get it done, and now you have lighting that nothing can control. Not even Phil lighting from the photographer. Always wonderful talking with you. I swear I feel like I'm there. It's and I think that's you. I think that's your energy. Once again, the website, very simple, literally simple, KonaBeachWeddings.com. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks so much, Steve.
Appreciate it. Good luck. Good luck later on today.
Thanks. Okay. Bye.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.